Kwakofi. Oh, no, Bako. My name is Dumoshi.
Ma ofane bon and tawalaga or you.
Oh, fine. And I was on a shift of Lengelengeko. And you won't know me, will expect you fine. Ninchale 7 is J. No go by here fine. She may go make a poison. Only tree but for few shinami. Take come over your pen get poison go.
Coaching is putting your thinking into action. That is all what coaching is about. Now, I studied them, I showed them, I revisited the match they played against us. Then I saw that we gave them enough space to operate because they are full of techniques. The boys, the 14, 20, 10, 8, 12. Very, very with the ball when you give them space. So we try something called tracking and getting free. Track them, get free and play. So we deny them the space for them to maneuver.
In terms of power play, it's zilch. If you watch our game against Mali, the young man was running away from taking the ball. He didn't want it. Give me away, give me away. He was practically running away. He was running away when we were being marooned and we were under attack from the Malians, and he had the opportunity of staking a claim in the team. Anytime an attempt was made to him with the ball, with the pass,
He's running away.
He's running away, leaving the ball,
Hiding
behind opponent. This whole Telemundo, it's something that sometimes
for the uninitiated, Telemundo is a channel that shows telenovelas.
Yes.
So this is like a soap opera.
It's like a soap opera. This clearly is a soap opera. It's winding down. So let's call Extremadura man from Extremadura man. Mora, when the boy is coming to the player, he's running away. You know what's the game? And shockingly, there's a certain miraculous acrobatism.
Na message said there, masin san players akuku da mama mutim na gina masa. Players be no masin san. Team na no ye hye. Team wo de bubo players na mama. Sakim CH. Where? Sakim CH. Aha. Team over na. What's that? Team over na. Aha. Cavers. Why? Cavers. Cavers ni ya san omo. E say sister sikupulator mo nya bi mo. Sister sikupulator onya bi mo. Eyi omo say eyi Brazil anyway. Ya sign no. Brazil ni bay. Omo fẹ́ no wa say silver so wa. Tiago silver. Aha. Tiago silver. E say
me the Felix will get stand. My stand be say me Adamu. I no go leave my job go marry. No, you see, I don't leave my job go marry.
So you refuse to they punish him.
They know the punishment. It serves you right. No, the punishment. See. You choose. You choose love over job. That is exactly what you do. Because see what Richard go do. Football no day. Richard go marry.
Yeah.
So in the footballer, see, from August 2019 to December 29, we don't play football.
No
marry. We start league after we fall. You say they go marry.
That be the time when money catch.
No. So you choose love over career. And so if today you get your lover, the coach say they give you more time to go chop love. So it's not a big deal. Me, I guess that I thought this matter.
Does Don Bote still want to play football? You are 36 years old.
Forget about the age.
We cannot forget about the age, Don. You are 36.
Yeah, 36. You doubt 36. Inner me, forget about the age. What you want me to come and do for you?
You still think you can perform at the highest level?
Why?
In Ghana?
Yeah. Not in Ghana, sir.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
You train?
Serious.
By yourself?
Always.
Why don't you want to join a club and train?
You see, that's what I'm saying. Them themselves, they don't believe themselves. The coaches don't believe themselves. They are not real coaches. They don't. You have to believe yourself that no, this guy can do it for me. If you believe me, I can do it. But so far as you just relax yourself, no. If I come safe, I won't get that spirit because you don't believe me.
So you think that if a Premier League team were to give you an opportunity to play, you would make an impact?
Ghana, yeah.
Yes.
I can play past all the current players. The current players in Ghana Premier League.
That's a serious statement coming from somebody who hasn't played in almost a year.
You know something? I know myself. That's why I said, if you don't know me, you don't know me.
You see, as for a game, like when you get a chance, every blessed player will decide to score, and then to decide to catch the ball. So when you both decide together, then you miss the chance. I decide differently, and he also decided differently, and our decision was together. That's why he was able to catch the ball. So I think next time I'll raise my head and watch the goal post and put the ball.
You have 3 or 4 phones. What messages have you been receiving?
I haven't read them because they keep on coming. They keep on coming. I think that I have to turn one of the phone off.
You haven't read any of them? Messages?
No, not at all. Look, they still calling. They still calling. Phones are calling.
Some way. Benjamin Nketsia here, Sports Panorama. Preseason is rolling along really nicely. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. Liverpool's defense still looking wobbly. Arsenal Football Club. Charlie, somebody says Kim Kardashian must release Bukayo Saka. I'm not sure what's going on. I saw the fact that Kim Kardashian was displaying Bukayo Saka jersey from last season, and also it looks like he's added the neon jersey from this season. Somebody says as soon as they hit off that link up, Bukayo Saka's form plummeted. It's not me. I'm not the one saying it's not me. Is it true? They say release the boy. We'll talk about preseason in a bit. There's local Donkomi, Mohamed Salisu. Actually, he's off to the province of Monaco. If you know Monaco, life is good over there, especially if you're an athlete. You know, he was chilling with Kamaldeen at Southampton. Kamaldeen was probably thinking we're all going to play the championship this coming season. Salisu says, no way. Mekokra. We'll talk about that. What's happening with the Kudus move? Still on or not? Manchester City look like they're on the verge of wrapping up that Josko Vardio deal. Also look like it won't happen. There were denials. Looks like it might finally happen. PSG, the rebuild is on. The Mbappe controversy still lingers. He did not sign the extension. A bid did come in from Saudi Arabia. Mbappe obviously has no interest in leaving. What is the future saying as far as Mbappe is concerned? Does he stay this season or will he leave? Bayern Munich have stepped up their chase for Harry Kane. I honestly thought United would have stepped in by now. United are concentrated on getting Højlund, so it looks like Kane might just go to Bayern. Brighton and Hove Albion have dropped an update. They say they are not expecting any team to meet their valuation of Caicedo this summer. Charlie, the 10 siblings are waiting. Accra Hearts of Oak have a new technical director in the person of Rene Hiddink. The GFA's presidential election set for September 27th. Finally. Okay. You out there can join us via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram. 0549986996. 0549986996. You can also get to me on Twitter. Tweet at me at Edwin Nketsia. Use the hashtag SportsPanorama. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend that we are live. Bell Beverages. Charlie, my puka is on hand. And if you know how it rolls, the rabbi. Oh, Charlie, 2 pukes. 2 pukes. Before today, I didn't even know puka had a plural. 2 pukes. Rabbi.
Oh, no more.
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, no more.
You have appeared in a Bayern jersey.
Of course.
Is it a message?
It's a message that I don't agree with them spending almost 100 million on Harry Kane. They should go look for a young striker. Buy our he made.
Is it your cash?
There's cash. You see, when it comes to Bayern Munich, there is cash. There's good cash. No two ways about that. And I hear they've given Tottenham a deadline saying take it or leave it.
Yeah.
They need a response by the end of today. And so far, the living man, that man, no party ever correct.
Charlie. Usher us, Numo, usher us into the spiritual realms.
Oh, you are. One double shie. Wakawa beko. I can make Founders Day. Founder Day anymore. She ogba me. Sports Panorama. Walk bini. Wakamene soa ni masoa na masoa ni mobile woba. Mamu fe klalo amembo wotwe. Nye fe nye beshi yeshia. Mene ya anu chimo fe nye bebe yeshi yeshia. Woba ni woba fi ami. Bebe. Mi she nye woba nye wo. Wonu pa ke woba ni woba somonye. Won somonye ye anukwale mi. Mena ke efie na anukwale yo woba gbra lekevo. Awo Falekeleya, falekeleya. Falekeleya, falekeleya. Moko binu kometo. Falekeleya, moko binu kometo. Fale yo wa be she atobe. Wala ka ogbele ya che o manche yele aba. Oba woyin anu nyaw. September be nato yi. Ni be never into Ghana football. Oba helele. Ye jole mi, ya no kwale mi. No football edumo jara mi eko. No one young hanging. Enemy can you be P or be your bagmy? Okay. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Football is back. On Sunday, the much-awaited Premier League season will return. Our Citi FM and Talk Sports invite you to the launch of the upcoming season and hang out. Get ready for heart-pounding action, jaw-dropping skills. Another thrilling season is returning. The Citi TV premises at Tesano, Sunday 6th August. Come, let's hang out. Let's have some drinks. Have a good time and launch the season. I will be there. Coach will be there. We'll be there with our bell puka. until then, let's get into the world of transfers.
A don that was so is don't call me time. One place, Mace for sale, one ton cheap. Don't call me, yo, don't call me. We dey loan this player $1,000. Don't call me, yo, don't call me. For this striker we can consider. Don't call me, yo, don't call me. No they see you use Team Naboka. Don't call me, yo. So goals are Sansa Torres. Now on time she goes a prince of goals. Now on one yard drinks a Tevez. And then your coach one come at home. A don that was so. Don't call me, yo, don't call me. Let's go. It's don't call me time. Don't call me, yo, don't call me. Hey, it's don't call me time. Don't call me, yo, don't call me. Catch that. Team Naboka. Don't call me, yo, don't call me. Catch that. It's don't call me time.
Medase. And let's start off from the French League 1. Let's start off with 24-year-old Mohamed Salisu. AS Monaco is where he'll be playing his football. I can't believe time really flies that fast. It's been 3 seasons already for him in the Premier League at Southampton. He decided that the championship will not be his portion, and so he has jumped ship. Oh no, he doesn't want to play in the championship. I mean, it's clear.
It is not my portion.
And like I always say, Monaco is a nice place, Charlie. If you know Monaco, it's a nice place. I mean, it's not a place for like regular folks with regular money. You know, if you're an athlete,
big boys.
Yeah,
It's for the big boys.
He's an athlete, so he'll probably enjoy his time there. But let me start with you, Coach. Salisu moving to the French league. I don't know how I personally feel about this, but how do you feel about this? Good move?
I think for footballing reasons,
they were chasing. He had, I think, Fulham and then Monaco on the radar. And then I think Fulham decided to go with Calvin Bassey of Ajax.
So it isn't that he had so many options to choose from. And Monaco, if you go to France, is one of the traditional teams in that country. A team well noted for their exploits. I mean, they unearthed the talent, Kylian Mbappe. They've had some very good players. Bernardo Silva.
Fabinho. Yeah, that's why it was crazy.
They've had some very
forgetting Timo Bakayoko.
There you go. Chelsea can only... Chelsea wish you didn't.
So Chelsea actually saw Bakayoko and Fabinho play together.
Exactly.
And then they went
at the time, Fabinho was playing at right back.
So right full back.
They didn't see him to walk into their midfield. Look, but having said that, maybe because of that, I support the move. You look at him playing in the French league, and then vis-a-vis that of the championship, I'll take the French league over the championship all day. Any day. I would do that. I would have wished or wanted him to stay in the Premiership. I thought that per his quality, the likes of Everton, the likes of Bournemouth, the likes of Nottingham Forest, even Tottenham, they are all over the place trying to get a centre back. Once Tottenham sold or let go of Nimley, I thought that Salisu
would
should
have been
a
credible candidate.
A credible candidate to go and fill that void. But they didn't see him good enough, or they didn't see him as a player they wanted. Because of that, I don't commit the move. But look, take it or leave it. If you leave the EPL, you go to the French league. I think it's a downgrade in terms of levels, in terms of standard, in terms of what the French league offers, in terms of competition, in terms of mileage, publicity, all those things you can't compare to the EPL. Yes, it is a move I approved of because it came down to it's either he goes there or he plays in the championship. I'll take that all day. But if there were options, my preference would have been to have him stay in the Premiership and then continue with his footballing career. I hear that Kamal Dintu, some other teams are looking at him for a loan move and stuff like that.
Some French league teams are looking at him.
Even I hear Everton, Sean Dykes is trying to look at him. But look, for him, it's a different situation altogether. But I'm happy for Salisu. I just hope and pray that wherever he's gone to, he will want to stamp because there's a void there that he needs to go and fill. Once Monaco signed him up, they quickly sold Disasi to Chelsea. So there's a void. And he needs to quickly walk into that team, stamp his authority, and own the back line, especially the centre-back pair. He's left-footed. I've always maintained that if you've got a left-footed and a right-footed centre-back as your centre-back pair, it gives you better tactical and technical balance. So I want him to go in there, stamp his authority, own the position, and begin to do some very good and exciting things with Monaco, because they are indeed one of the biggest team in the although of late they've struggled. Of late with the likes of Cesc Fabregas, the battle relegations of late. But if they can put their acts together and get some very good signings and then go back to the Monaco of old, the Monaco that we've all just admitted had the likes of Fabinho, the likes of Kylian Mbappe,
back in the day,
Bernardo Silva,
Patrice Evra, Ludovic
even
Giuly,
George Weah. George Weah started his
that group, that Peso.
They've always been this exciting team.
Yeah.
They've always been very exciting. I hope that.
And Morientes too.
Morientes too.
It was a really good team, actually.
Yeah. So they've always been very exciting. So I just hope that he's gone there and they will revisit what we all know them to be, and then they'll begin to put a proper challenge to. Because look, I think the French league now is very open. Now that PSG are going through some form of rebuild, trying to move away from that galactical way of doing things, where we all saw them to have the best team, player for player by far. They can take a 15 lead, afford to lose 4 games, still go on and win the league. But once they are not going along that path, with some few rumors coming out during the week that even Luis Enrique was not happy with the signing, and he was threatening that he will leave if they don't give him what he wants. He's that sort of manager. It tells you that there is the league is open. So I'm happy for Salisu. I just hope and pray that that will not be a move that he will be overly satisfied with. He should go in there, stamp his authority, grow up as a centre back, and then by the time he turns 26, 27 in his peak years, he can come back to the EPL.
Yeah, let me take your thoughts on. Let me get to Edwin on this. Good move or not? Don't call me or not.
Well, coach has mentioned a number of positives for this move. He is going to a league where he immediately slots into that first team, with Disasi moving to Chelsea. He's going to, more importantly, a league that is not the Championship. I don't think the Championship is quality enough for a player like Salisu, who is reaching his peak. You want to be playing at the highest level if you are Mo Salisu. So on those notes, it's a good move. However, I think it's a huge downgrade. Fulham and Monaco might have been the clubs overtly chasing him, but I feel there were a lot more options. Even if those clubs hadn't yet got to him, it's possible they were chasing other priorities and eventually they'll get to him. There were teams that in the Premier League that need a player like Salisu. You're looking at Liverpool. Their defensive issues have been out there for everyone to see this preseason. They've been conceding like water.
Liverpool don't have a left-footed centre-back, right? They don't.
They don't currently. So Salisu would immediately stake a claim for a starting place in that team. As coach said, Tottenham as well. They've been looking for a centre-back. There are so many other clubs across Europe in the Europe's big leagues that are not the French league who would do with a player like Salisu. And I feel that downgrading at this moment in his career might not be the best thing, because we all knew about Salisu before he went to.
It's not.
No,
it's not that big a deal.
He needed this
from Spain to England to France. It's a bit of a downgrade.
It's a huge downgrade.
But at this moment, he needed this.
Look,
let him make his brother come to you.
We've seen young players come to the Premier League, be seen as flops, and then go to other leagues and do well. But once you leave the Premier League with that tag hanging over you, like your Premier League career was not seen as a success. Let's take Memphis Depay, for instance. He's a fantastic player, but he came to the Premier League, which is seen as the best league, the most competitive league. Everyone aims to do their best they can in that league, and he was seen as a failure. He's gone everywhere else. He's never reached that peak ever again since he left the Premier League. Even Di Maria, he left Real Madrid, went to United.
Never been the same player.
Never been the same player in terms of hype, in terms of
pedigree.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
It's true. You can't deny it.
Do you need that as a player all the time? I'm looking at it from a purely technical aspect. Yeah. And the Di Maria who played for Man United and the Di Maria who ended up at Juventus, though he was past his peak physical performance or attribute or levels, technically, he had grown as a player. And he was a way better player from a tactical point of view than the player who played at Man United.
But let's put this in context. If you are Mohamed Salisu,
yes,
you move from
Valladolid
to Southampton. 3 seasons. You expect that? I expect that. Worst case scenario, you are ending up with say Newcastle, Tottenham, Aston Villa.
Yeah,
Look,
sure.
as a player,
Maybe
a young
Everton,
player,
yeah.
Even a Brighton.
Brighton
themselves, they were looking for.
They've lost Levi Colwill.
Brighton were hopeful they would get Levi Colwill.
Yeah.
They didn't. They might have turned their attention to Salisu if
Yeah.
he were available. Now he's not. He's off the market. And I feel that there were better places he could have, gone in his career progression.
That's why I started off by saying I don't know how I feel about this.
For me, I think that his move was more of a situational incident. He was involved in something. Either he moves or he plays in the championship. Now, for a player who struggled with injury, I think last season he had a lot of injury worries.
He didn't finish the campaign well at all.
There were lots of
March.
injury worries. I think he played just 22 league games.
His last game last season was in March in the league.
So he needed something more like a place where he can come back, restart, and come back. So I think this is more like, okay, I've gone through a bad patch. Let me go somewhere
that allows me to
get my acts together and hopefully come back stronger. It's a good move. And also the fact that at the moment he has to make sure that he gets into top form, because his centre-back opponents at the Black Stars level are all moving to elite leagues now to play week in, week out. We've seen
elite league
or top leagues now.
Who are we talking about here?
Listen,
Martin just scored for Besiktas though.
He's talking about Martin Alexander.
Let me land. They've moved to Premier A teams, right? Not Division 2 teams in their various nations. So Amate moving to Besiktas. We've seen Juku also moving as well to Turkey to play in the Turkish Super League. So I think comparing that to he moving to the Division 1 in England will not have helped him as well. So he needed to also match up to that level of being with a team in the Premier Division of that country. For me, you may think that it's a downgrade, but see, if you compare Southampton and Monaco, I think that Monaco is slightly ahead of Southampton. So it's a slight...
It's ahead of Southampton.
It's a slight...
It's likely.
What?
They are ahead
growth,
of Southampton.
Right?
Look.
It's a growth, but just that it's a growth in another country.
In
so
another...
maybe he's downgraded. But he's grown somewhere in terms of club level.
You were playing in the Premier League.
See, point is.
Yes, Premier League for Southampton. And he moves to Monaco.
No. Salisu's career should be on the upward curve. He's gone down. You can't deny that. He's gone down. You've gone from La Liga to the Premier League.
La Liga with Rayo Vallecano.
Rayo
Valladolid.
And you've gone to Southampton to the Premier League.
Yes.
Your next step should be a top club in one of the top leagues in Europe.
I agree.
Not France. You either go to a Bundesliga
and you see, even if it's France
and La
now,
Liga
right?
again.
Listen,
or in the Premier League.
You have to accept that injuries have hindered what he's trying to do at the moment. If Salisu was fit last season, playing week in, week out, I'm sure he would have made a good case for himself.
The stock would have been high.
Exactly. Last season,
Fair.
his season was blighted by so much injuries. He needs this move to get back to full fitness, to get back to his old self, and to make a huge case for himself. For me, also, comparing the two teams, I repeat, Monaco ahead of Southampton. Even though it's in France, he's made a slight move, and it's better than where he was.
Okay, so coach doesn't
It's a don't commit for me.
Coach don't commit the move. Yao doesn't. You don't commit the move. Salisu,
no, he doesn't don't commit. I don't commit because I see it as, look, aside the financial benefits of that Southampton will provide, that an EPL team will provide, and the hype.
Is it Monaco tax free?
No, it's heavily taxed.
Yeah, heavily taxed.
Monaco is heavily taxed. And the English hype that will bring about that extra glow around every player who plays in the EPL. What else is there for him to benefit playing with Southampton?
Look,
and not AS Monaco.
His Black Stars career was basically built off his time at Southampton.
Yep.
No,
we clamored for him to be included in the Black Stars because we kept seeing him at Southampton. Him dropping down to a league where he doesn't get the attention, he doesn't get the eyeballs.
Everyone's looking at the league, but I'm looking at the club.
Attention.
No one watches the French league. You have to be.
What the French league?
Let's be honest. Hold on.
With Messi now out, barely anyone will watch.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Like we all admitted here, Monaco now is not even Monaco 5 years ago.
Yes.
It's not even Monaco 5. They were what? I think they were sixth last season. They finished outside the European places last season. So they are a team in full rebuild mode.
And not relegated.
And if you are, and if we are being very honest, like Edwin said, Nobody watches the
But
French
his
league.
football education will benefit. That's the thing. That's the thing about people aren't paying attention to.
Yeah, that's why I
his
said
football
that.
education he will benefit
Final
from his
points-
football
final
education.
points before we
Playing
go
in the
on.
French league, you
That's
play
why
in
I said
the
that.
Spanish league, you play in the EPL, and you play in the French league.
You better have a PhD
No.
in defending by the
No.
time he's done, because
You can-
the way your football education
we
will
cannot get
benefit
to the
there.
top, but he's taking a little bit of a detour.
Yo.
Take it or leave it. If you were to ask Salifu himself, that from Southampton, would he have preferred a team in the Premiership come for him or a team in the French league come for him? The answer would have been very straightforward and direct. The fact of the matter is, it's up to the boy now. What are his ambitions? Is he very okay that he's gone to Monaco, historically one of the biggest teams in France? Or he still thinks that he's got some unfinished business in the best league in the world, in the toughest league in the world? I hope those in and around him will tell him that, look, we've got some unfinished business out there. Go here. They bought you for how many? How much?
15 million euros.
If you can boss this league, eyes will come back on you. Left-footed centre backs are always hot on the market. Go there, show your class, stay injury-free. Very, very key. Stay injury-free. If you can stay injury-free and boss the league. Look, I don't see him playing there for more than 2 seasons.
And he's 24.
Yeah.
So
Very, very
that's
young.
what I said. By
Very,
the
very
time
young. He'll come
he
back.
hits his peak years,
Yeah.
26, 27,
Yeah.
he should be
We hope. Again, it's all
he's
predicated.
this is
And
growth.
all what coach said is predicated on staying healthy,
Yes,
and
it's very
showing
key.
and showing good form.
look at where he's coming
So
from.
we wish Mohamed Salisu well in his endeavors. Let's talk about Arsenal. There's something really interesting going on there that I want to address. So they've made a bid for David Raya. I'm not sure what's going on. It's what, 20 million plus, I think, add-ons. The first bid was rejected by Brentford. Edwin, let me start with you on this. What's going on? Does Arteta not trust Ramsdale enough?
Look, if I were Arteta, I wouldn't trust Ramsdale myself, because he got very comfortable getting to the end of last season. There were moments where you expect your goalkeeper to keep a cool, calm head, and Ramsdale was all over the place.
Against Southampton.
Exactly. And I feel that he needs some competition. I don't think Arsenal have any goalkeepers who can say that they can compete with Ramsdale for the number 1 slot right now. And any player in any position, once you have someone else pushing you off similar or maybe just a little slightly worse quality than you, you will perform to your best. And Arteta has seen Raya as someone who can challenge Ramsdale for the top spots. It's not he's coming in to replace Raya. And that's what we've heard so far. He's not bringing him to
So
outright...
it's not the Leno Ramsdale situation again.
I think it's just because of the passing game. Because Raya is more comfortable on the ball.
We are back here again.
No, yes. Ramsdale is actually pretty comfortable
I love it.
with the ball at his feet.
Average.
I think he's average. He's
Average.
not as good.
He's not as
Not
good
as good as he's not as good
as
as
Raya.
You mean Raya is an Onana? More like.
No.
Hey. So what? Is Onana supposed to be some legend?
He's a left down.
You are talking to the Onana fan club.
It's a rare ball-playing goalkeeper. It's a rare something
The
to have.
Raya bit, it again buttresses my point I've said all of season that Arsenal is trying to be like Manchester City. Manchester City, what they do best is that they double down everything that they have going well for them positively. So you look at the fact that they won the league entirely built off having a brilliant backline made of proper defenders, as Pep Guardiola quoted. Then they go into the market and they bring in Vardy.
Buy a 90 million euro.
And they bring in Vardy. And what that means is you have a situation where John Stones will consistently be paired with Rodri at the base of their midfield. And they'll be backed by
Four centre
backs. Now, with Arsenal bringing in Raya or bidding for Raya and hopefully wanting to bring him in, it means that Arteta wants to double down on personnel from the back, being able to pin teams in their half, knowing very well that he doesn't have an out-and-out striker. And that's what I honestly believe that they are trying to do. Because if you have Leandro Trossard, you have Edwin Nketsia, you have Gabriel Jesus, and you go and you bring in Kai Havertz, that means you are doubling down on the fact that you are going to play with a false 9.
And that is what he wants to
do. And that's what he wants to do. And playing with a false 9, you need a goalkeeper who can contribute to the passing game, who can advance to the midfield area, who can join the centre backs and be part of be an outfield player.
If that is what he's doing, then truth be told, he's actually not mimicking Manchester City 100%. Because all that Pep did, he realized that, look, this false number 9 thing cannot sustain it. It cannot be sustainable. He went in there. He's bought 2 strikers. He bought Haaland, and then he bought the ball from Argentina.
Alvarez is in the mold of Gabriel Jesus.
No, but if you look at what Arsenal themselves have built, I think that is where they'll fall short again. The fact that they don't have a proper number 9, somebody who will not score goals for them in that 18 year. Because look, from the way they play,
and Gabriel is injured.
If they had a Van Nistelrooy type of number 9, they win the league. If they have an Erling Haaland type of number 9, surely they win the league.
Even an Alvarez, they win the league.
Even an Alvarez, even they win the league.
Honestly, I don't believe that, because last season, Man City scored 94 goals in the EPL. Arsenal scored 88. It was just 6 shots. It was just 6 fewer.
That is what the out and out number 9.
It was. The reason why Arsenal lost the league, it wasn't because of their front line. It was because of their back line.
How many goals did Gabriel Jesus score?
11, I think.
15 goals. He didn't even score 12 goals. Yeah. And I'm telling you that a number 9 that would have guaranteed them 18 plus or 20 plus. They would have won the league.
Offset the defensive balance. Let's move it on. Let's not dwell on the topic.
That's why having a goalkeeper, ball-playing goalkeeper right now plays an important role in football, because it helps you either way. It helps you with a false 9 system.
Man United bought Onana. We've gone for Rasmus Højlund. And natural number 9.
Getting back to my point.
Pep Guardiola had a dozen. He went 2 and he brought 2. Proper number 9.
So what a proper number 9?
Because when you have a ball-playing goalkeeper and you have a proper number 9, normally when you watch Manchester City play, Erling Haaland is often isolated up top. But because you have a ball-playing goalkeeper, he doubles up and he stays upfield. And it doesn't
he provides an outlet for the goalkeeper in case
it doesn't create that system
where the press is high. He's an option.
He's an option. And that's my point. And that's my point. That if you have a ball-playing goalkeeper, it works either way. You can play with a false 9 system that Arsenal is trying to do, or you can play with an out-and-out striker like Manchester City is trying to do.
I think it will fall short when you don't have a proper number 9.
Let me just get the final word on Raya. Edwin, just final thought. So you don't think Raya can displace Ramsdale? You think it's more to provide competition?
Yeah, I think it's to provide competition.
I think he displaces him. Look, Raya.
Look, I don't think you buy a goalkeeper for 20 million plus add-ons to come and sit on the bench.
This guy calls them about
Ramsdale. That's what I'm saying. Ramsdale calls them just about the same amount of money.
If you look at the quality that Raya possesses, and if Arteta is so much obsessed with the building from the back goalkeeper, then completely he takes Ramsdale out and he becomes the new number 1. Because look, I can tell you one thing for a fact: the Ramsdale camp would definitely not be happy with this.
I'm telling you, no. If I'm Ramsdale,
they are just not comfortable with this move.
I think it's more of building the squad in depth, because he needs this. I think
squad in depth, goalkeeper.
When it comes to
listen,
squad in depth, 25 million goalkeeper squad in depth.
As a coach, let me just tell you something. What good coaches normally would not do is to have 2 goalkeepers that are almost
of the same level.
Go to all the big teams in the world. Go to Real Madrid. Who's the number 1? Who's the number 2?
I think Courtois.
Go to Liverpool. Who's the number 1?
You barely even know the number 2 most of the time.
Go to Man City themselves. Who's the number 1? Who's the number 2? Go to Man United now. When David De Gea, who's the number 2? Now it's not. Who's the number 2? What is it? What you do? It is one department that you cannot be changing week in, week out. So you want an established number now, and somebody who will be ready and prepared to step in as at when he's needed.
Don't forget, goalkeepers don't get injured a lot.
At the end of the day, you don't want to keep an unhappy goalkeeper there who thinks that he's better than the one in goal.
A few clubs have tried that too.
And it's
top
backfired.
goalkeepers. They immediately sold the other one.
Look
They
at
immediately-
PSG. Even
after
PSG,
a year or two.
Look at when they bought the Milan goalkeeper. And they
Donnarumma.
had the former Real Madrid goalkeeper there.
Okay.
Like, he had to leave.
Yes, one had to
when
go.
Kylian came and Thibaut Courtois also was Kylian and Thibaut Courtois. One of them had to leave.
You had Chilison and Ter Stegen.
Ter
at
Stegen.
Somebody had to go.
One had to go.
Exactly. But with modern times where we have coaches changing their goalkeepers for different competitions, I think that what Arteta potentially wants to do
like Barcelona.
is that have
Jordi
a
Bravo
keeper
and Ter
for
Stegen.
some other competitions, and then have a keeper for the Premier League. So
What?
you may be looking at you may be looking at the Champions League goalkeeper.
FA Cup and Carling Cup.
See,
How many
you may be
games
looking at you may be looking at something different here. Maybe having is one goalkeeper for the Premier League, Champions League sorted out, and then not to get him too fatigued. Get another goalkeeper for the cup competitions, which is the FA Cup and the Carling Cup. It could be
I can agree
a
with this.
plan where
I can agree with this assertion.
You
But
see, you can only agree with this.
if the goalkeeper costs like 5 million or 10 million,
If the other, like you said, the price tag on the
Yep.
goalkeeper,
Yes.
and the goalkeeper
from the look of
clearly
things,
believes
Raya will
that.
cost Arsenal almost the same amount as Ramsey.
see
Brentford say he's worth 40 million.
And fatigue really isn't something you have to worry about
With the
for-
goalkeeper.
the goalkeeper.
for a goalkeeper who, at a point in time, during the latter part of the season, he started causing or making mistakes and costing you points. I think that is something you must consider. That okay, if he's my only top keeper, and I'm using him for the Premier League or the other tournaments as well, it gets to a point where when he gets too exhausted, he starts making mistakes. So why don't I get another backup there? Take him off the other competitions.
We are not against. Nobody's saying don't get a backup. Get a backup, but the backup should not be of the
Same level as your starting goalkeeper.
It never works out good. It never works out.
Maybe
Because look,
maybe Arteta wants to try that.
a time will come. A time will come.
Something has to
The
give.
backup. Look, even when Man United had the Argentine goal.
Yeah, Romero.
He accepted that David De Gea was the number one. He was Argentina number one goalkeeper
Exactly.
when he was deputy to De Gea. That didn't create any problem. He himself knew that De Gea was the better goalkeeper. But this Raya guy, this is the Spanish number 2 goalkeeper at the national level. Ramsdale too is number 2 or number 3 in the England national team. So when this guy comes in there and he starts seeing the training section, and we all know the guy is a good goalkeeper. Truth be told, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. The Brentford goalkeeper, he's a good goalkeeper. I think he's better than the Arsenal goalkeeper currently. So if you go for him like that, then you, this manager who is making that decision, you have to have a clear. For now, maybe he may accept because he wants to leave Brentford. He may accept that look, and I'm not sure he will accept that Ramsdale plays in the league and the Champions League. Whilst he plays only in the Carling Cup. No,
those games are not even enough.
He will play in the Champions League. Maybe for now, Ramsdale can play in the Premier League. Whoever plays in the Premier League is started to be your number one.
Because look, I can see PGG can sit here and try and rationalize this all he wants. I can
For
tell
me,
you that Ramsdale is not happy. I can tell you.
Yes, it's not.
Ramsdale will not be happy
but
with
it's
this.
about what Arteta wants to do, and I think I agree with him on this one. That for a keeper that will cost him mistakes at the end of the season, then he needs to get someone so that he can make mistakes. Oh yes.
Let's move it on. Let's talk about something else that's happening. Tottenham have just signed a defender for 50 million euros. You might probably never have heard of him. It's called Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah, it's a Dutch guy.
Dutch centre back. He's 6'4". He's one of the quickest centre backs I have ever seen. He is lightning quick. He used to play for Wolfsburg. 50 million. He's left-footed, actually. Let me throw this. Edwin, what's going on with Tottenham? What are they doing with this guy, Mickey van der Ven? Very highly rated youngster.
Yes, and I feel Tottenham are going through a rebuilding phase. They've got rid of Hugo Lloris. They are bringing in a manager who is not probably on the top echelons of the coaching level ladder, but I think they are bringing in young players to try and rejig this team. Maybe they might lose Harry Kane. You never know. They are preparing that team for a transition. They know that probably they need to aim a little lower this year because last season was an underwhelming season for them. With all the struggles that the other teams went through, they still didn't manage to make top 4. This season, they'll probably be aiming for top 4 again, but with the knowledge that they are probably not as good as the other teams. They have a long way to go to catch a United, a Chelsea who are stacking up in terms of players. And Liverpool, who seem to have rediscovered a midfield that can compete as well. They are definitely not on the level of Man City or Arsenal or Newcastle or Brighton. So they need to start, packing up a lot of young players who have potential. They've got rid of a lot of the dead weights in their team. We saw Doherty go back to Wolves. They've lost, as I mentioned, Hugo Lloris. They might be losing King as well. A lot of players, Langley back. So there's a transition going on at Spurs. So bringing a young player who is very highly rated, who has a lot of potential coming from him. As you said, he's very pacey. He can go into attack, join the attack. That's what Spurs really want. A player who can attack from defense. That's what they tried to get with Doherty. It didn't work out. Once this player, he might work out for them. So I think Spurs are just in a rebuilding phase. Once they get their team sorted out, once they figure out who is staying, who is going, they can get the manager, some time to deal with everything that he has around him and probably put Spurs in a better position to compete for a top 4 place.
I think that it is a department they should be looking at completely overhauling.
In their defense?
Yeah, their defense. Because I think they conceded close to almost 70 goals.
Considered a lot of
A
goals.
defense that has
60. I think 60.
Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez.
You need to move these guys on. They've never been good
Davinson
enough.
Sanchez was once upon a time Ajax record transfer.
They've never been good enough. They will never be good enough. Davies, McAneby.
Ben Davis, Sessegnon, I think they have Royale.
Sessegnon is still young.
Yeah.
He's
Emerson Royale.
And then the boy they bought from Portugal, the former Man City boy.
Pedro Porro.
These are not, when you are building
they spent like 50 million on Pedro Porro.
He's not a proper defender. He's an attacking fullback.
More like a wing back.
More like a wing back. So it is better to, when you dealing with department, look at what Pep Guardiola has done. He's put in specialists within the department to do the job. If you bring him anything extra, he will take it. Maybe per the system, per the movement of the team, there will be times where you give us something extra. But once those movements are not coordinated, you stay in there and do your basic defending. If you look at this Spurs team, I believe that is one department they actually need to overhaul, because you cannot go into this league still be depending on Eric Dyer. Even look at preseason. Look at the sort of defending he's defending. Absolutely shambolic.
Eric Dyer.
They've asked Barcelona to recall Langley. Yeah. So look at them. They don't have proper centre back. So I'm happy they've gone for the boy. He's very young. He's very intelligent. If you watch him play, and like we all say, look, he's got blistering pace. I've seen a video,
which is good for the Premier League.
Which is
you need that pace in the Premier League.
Gets him to fit. That alone gets him to fit in the Premier.
6
He needs to get. He's young.
That's crazy.
So he needs somebody who will guide him in defending.
And who is that?
Cristiano Romero.
You can trust the Argentine boy.
He's a World Cup winner.
I think he's the only proper. Honestly, he's the only proper defender left at Spurs.
One of the most.
He may be a World Cup winner, but Romero is not a really disciplined defender.
I think he's very indisciplined. Very indisciplined as a defender.
Romero is your typical Argentine centre back.
So one would say that if you have Romero, you should have somebody like a Rio Ferdinand, a Van Dijk type of defender behind him.
Calm and collected.
Yeah,
calm and collected. So if Romero is the one going to give the young man the guidance, then they may have a huge imbalance, and that could create problems. So you see, this Spurs team, like Edwin rightly said, they should just calm down. Don't even think about top 4. I think any form of European football should be decent. Europa League, Conference League, and then they should rather target the knockout competitions, maybe the FA Cup or the Carling, just win something under this new manager and get everybody to believe.
So I like it because you look at the profile of their defenders. You look at the likes of Sessegnon. You look at Evan Perisic, who can play as a wing back. Yeah. You look at Pedro Porro, who can play as a wing back too. You need Cristiano Romero. You need a guy like Ben Davies in there who will bring the calming effect in there.
Romero,
No, Ben Davies.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Christian. I'm not talking about Christian Romero.
No, the left-footed guy. He's never been regarded
himself.
as a solid defender.
But he says he brings a calming presence.
No.
Is that's what Romero brings?
He's calm because he can't do it.
Now,
He
look,
can't do anything.
No, you need a perfect mix. You need a perfect balance. When you have a Rio
This
Ferdinand
Ben
who is
Davis
a
guy.
ball playing,
This
kind
Ben
of-
Davis
for
guy.
Ben
This
Davis.
Ben Davis guy. He's been around for a very long time.
And that's why they moved him
He's
from
never
a left
improved.
fullback
To
to
center-
center
left
back.
center
He's never. No, look at the goals they ship in alongside Eric Dyer.
It's not
To be,
his fault.
to be, to be,
Oh,
to
it
be,
is his fault.
To be,
Oh.
let me be honest.
No.
I think that Ben Davis is a very, very average defender.
Very average.
Very
Ah,
average.
5 over 10 at
Five is
best.
too
Yeah,
much.
Mokoni extraordinary
At best.
defender.
Like me, I agree with coach. That whole Tottenham defense needs to go.
Overhauling.
Davinson Sanchez. Chia!
I'm not talking about Davis and Sanchez. I'm
Sanchez.
talking about Ben Davis.
Ben
Sanchez.
Davis. Eric Dyer. Omo nyina omo nyaade.
Abochi and Brazil me jacho.
Abuchi.
MSC.
I'm sorry,
Omo nyaade. Let's talk about Adjei Disasi. Chelsea Football Club still punching hard in the transfer window. So they brought him a French centre-back from Monaco. Taurus. Now on 6-year contract signed, £38.8 million. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's huge money.
But the only thing that worries me about him is the lack of pace. The lack of pace. And unlike Thiago Silva, who is very, very cerebral and he knows how to pick angles, when to step up, when to just fall back and receive passes, when to go in hard, when to step up and intercept passes. Disasi, he is not there yet. And that's why the lack of pace is a bit of a worry for me. But aside that, he fits the profile of a modern day centre-back. He's big, he's tall, he's very physical, and he has a decent passing game to his level. And so for me, I think this is a very good signing. But the only thing I worry about is his lack of pace, knowing very well that Mauricio Pochettino encourages his fullbacks to advance high up the pitch, and also his centre-backs to join them a little bit, not too high, but a little bit. Once you are playing in the Premier League and you don't have that kind of cerebral defender like Thiago Silva in your back line, having a lack of pace is a bit of a worry. But aside that, he's a fine player.
Well, for me, I think first question is, why did Chelsea go for him? Clearly, there was an injury worry. Look at what happened to Fofana. So they had to go for somebody. Somebody who is there. Now you look at the stats of the Disasi. He played in almost every game for Monaco last season in the French league.
How old is he?
He's 25 years. 25. So clearly it tells you that in terms of his fitness, he's there. He's always available. He's always available. Very durable. And that's one key thing that made this move tick for Chelsea. That, see, we already have defenders, but injuries has been their worry. So let's go for someone who will be there for us. Because obviously, the Fofanas will be coming back, the Badiashilis will be coming back, but let's find somebody who is less injury prone, who is always available and all that. Exactly. No, they have to.
Availability is a key asset.
And I think he takes that key element of what Chelsea were looking for. Somebody who is available for them.
I'm surprised. 25 million would have gotten you, Maguire. But anyway, is there any scenario where Disasi actually becomes a starter at Chelsea?
Absolutely not. And that's what I was going to talk about.
Unless he's not going to be.
Unless Levi Cowell is a disaster.
To be starter by your 40 million.
No, he's coming in to stop a problem that they're having at the moment.
Sure.
Chelsea are spending lots of money on players who aren't starters right now, but have the potential to be. This Disasi is just backup to ensure that in case there's an injury or Levi Cowell is disastrous for Chelsea. Unless those situations happen, I don't see him as a starter. He's probably going to get starts in the cup competitions, maybe get a game once in a while in the Premier League, but he's primarily there as a backup to the defenders Chelsea have. Right now, it's Thiago Silva, Levi Cowell as starters, Trevor Chalobah as the backup. Disasi comes in as and when. I feel Chelsea have a settled defense, so unless there's a serious injury to one of them or one of the centre-backs is having a terrible, terrible season, we are going to see him more on the bench than on the pitch for Chelsea.
That's very interesting. So Adjei Disasi has joined Chelsea. Yes, he's joined Chelsea. Romeo Lavia. Looks like Liverpool have abandoned their plans to get
I support it.
Kefren Turam to get Romeo Lavia. Now, According to the report, Lavia should cost Liverpool around 45 to 50 million, in between 40 and 50 million, based on add-ons and everything between. Coach, you've seen Lavia play. You've seen how Liverpool are set up now. Do they need him? He's a number 6, typically. He's a typical number 6, very physical, can dribble a little on the ball, can pass a little. Is this who they need?
You see, if you look at the two Liverpool have gone for, in McAllister and then Szoboszlai, Szoboszlai. The two of them are very different to Latvia. What Latvia?
Szoboszlai all action, attacking midfielder, yep.
Very like McAllister as well. And to me, Latvia brings that calmness in possession. If you watch him play against for Southampton, even when they were under immense pressure from teams, you could see him get on the ball, calm everybody down, and pass and receive it, protect the ball. He takes care of the ball very, very well. And I think that is one thing that Jurgen Klopp is looking at. Because if you are building a completely new midfield combo, what you don't want to do is to just give the ball away haphazardly. And that would mean that they will have to work tirelessly and be put under immense pressure. So in Latvia, the reason why Klopp, in my view, is bent on going after him, he's young, he's got good footballing brains. Look, he was by far Southampton's best player, even when they were struggling. Anytime you look at that Southampton team played, you could easily plug him out of the group. That, come on, this guy.
A former Man City product.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's been given proper developmental tutelage. And for me, I think that is what Jurgen Klopp is looking at. Look, I'm obsessed with Amrabat. If United were not after Amrabat, I would have said that, look, this guy, United should go for him.
Don't get a Caicedo and Amrabat.
Go for this boy. And with Casemiro in and around him, he'll be...
And he's what, like 19?
Yeah,
very young. Yes.
19, 20 years.
Very athletic.
Of course. If you get him put in on a six-year contract, he plays 2-3 years, you renew it by another 5 years. You've got him sorted out for the next decade. And I think that is what Jurgen Klopp is. If Liverpool can get this move, I think it's a move I will personally don't come in, because he's not done yet. He's not the finished product yet. But he's that player who he's tasted the Premiership. He understands the tempo, the intensity of the Premiership, and he brings some form of calmness when in possession. That is what Fabinho would do when he was at Liverpool. He wouldn't rush it. He would just take care of the ball, slow it down a bit. And in Latvia, that is what I believe Jurgen Klopp is looking at, trying to bring in that Fabinho-like sort of midfield, because we are not sure whether Thiago Alcantara will stay or he will leave. He's injury-prone. He hardly finds himself on the pitch. So look, but is he worth £50 million? That is where I
didn't think Liverpool would be paying close to 50 for Lavia. Lavia would cost 30 at most.
At most, but Southampton are bent on saying 50 million.
They want to collect 40 million for Ward-Prowse too.
Yes, and for maybe that is where I have my reservations. But as to his talent, I think he's a very, very good player who is not fully developed yet. 2-3 years from now, if he's
under the right manager, come on, he'll be one of the best in the business.
Quick thoughts on him?
Well, I think he's a pretty good player. A lot of the clubs in England have been targeting him, and if he were available for probably slightly lower amount of money, I think more clubs would be looking for him. So he's a good buy for Liverpool. One they probably need, because that cover before the back four is a problem that they haven't yet solved. The defense is still porous, as we can see, because teams can easily get past that midfield line there and get to the defenders. So him being there, as coach said, a really calming presence. He knows when to make the pass. He knows when to drive forward. He knows when to sit and just, observe breakup play. He's a player that Liverpool could do.
He doesn't also need time to really adjust.
He knows the Premier League already.
You pay for quality.
Looking at what Liverpool has with Szoboszlai and McAllister, I don't think they need Lavia. And on top of that, looking at the price tag, I don't think they need Lavia.
They don't.
Szoboszlai is a number 10. McAllister is a number 8. Lavia is a number 6.
But they'll play 4-3-3. Who will be the pivot? Lavia will be the pivot.
Lavia.
I don't see him excelling in that role. And on top of that, looking at the price tag, I don't think it's a fair price to get him at that level.
The price
Go in
tag,
for
yes.
Liverpool go in for go to Crystal Palace and go in for Sheikh Doucouré. He will be a better player in that system than Romeo Lavia.
I strongly disagree. I think I'm Donkomi Romeo Lavia. It is not my money. So I don't care. There's cash. I would have loved Kefren Turam or Kwadio Manukone of Bayern Mönchengladbach. But if you can get me Romeo Lavia,
Frankesi.
Yeah, but he's going to Saudi Arabia.
I personally don't know how I feel about Frankesi, but anyway, I prefer De Jong, but we know
you want Frankie.
we know how everybody feels about. I know coach prefers De Jong too, but you can't get De Jong.
As for De Jong, it's about him.
Yeah, more literally.
His wife
in love with Barcelona.
His wife is the brain there. She is very comfortable.
Let's just double back to Arsenal real quick before we move on to the community shield. Interesting situation for Folarin Balogun. Arsenal say he's worth 50 million. Teams want Folarin Balogun, but nobody's willing to pay 50 million. The player is reportedly unhappy and has told Arsenal that they should stop the nonsense.
Yeah,
and
look,
he says he and Kasa is not worth 50 million, so they should stop what they are doing.
You see, if you go and you splash money on Kai Havertz by heart, and you go and splash money somewhere on Declan Rice by heart,
coach is not by heart.
Oh, no, Declan Rice are 100 million plus. 100, 500 of
Declan Rice can't spend 5 seconds on the ball.
What? It's not worth it. You just question. Or you just spoke about Lavia. No, we all said Lavia is not 50 million.
No.
So if you go and spend that amount of money, you don't take an opportunity to just rip Balogun. He was low player.
Rem.
Yeah. He's gone there. He did pretty well. But he's not worth 50 million pounds. 50 million pounds. Okay, now that Gabriel Jesus is injured, he's going to miss the first part of the. You have a 50 million pound player in your fold. You want to sell him with your main striker going to miss about close
21 goals
2 months
last season.
2 months of the first round of the league. Then keep the boy. If he's worth 50, how much is Nketsia worth? Nobody will pay 50 million for Nketsia. So if you've got a 50 million pound player and you have Nketsia, who should you be keeping? Who should you be keeping?
Good point.
It doesn't fit the profile of the player Arteta wants.
Like what?
So you put 50 million pounds. That is why you should even don't call him in quick at the 40. You should sell him at the 40.
Arsenal have seen how the market has treated them, and they're also trying to recoup.
Nobody will buy Folarin Balogun for 40.
They've seen how teams dealt with
maximum 25-30.
See, but the truth is that nobody will buy Folarin Balogun for 50 million.
Oh yes,
Inter Milan came. They've worked out.
Yep.
And I've forgotten there's another team. They've also worked out. No.
Right now, West Ham are looking at getting.
The thing is, the market dictates the price. I don't like the fact that Romeo Lavia is tagged for 50 million pounds, 45 million pounds. Some even go as far as saying 60 million pounds. But the point is, you look at what's the going rate for Jonathan David, what's the going rate for Lois Openda. These players that I've mentioned, they finished third and fourth in the French League, the goal scorers chart. And right behind them is Folarin Balogun. And he falls within that space. So it's the market that is determining the price.
No, but
it's not just the club that's determining the price.
The market will determine, but you have to be a bit realistic as a club.
But will somebody buy?
Would Arteta pay 50 million for Balogun? If he's going to. And who does he expect to go and pay that money?
I think they should loan him out.
But pay no more happy.
Because the point is, you look at the traits that Edwin Nketsia and Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz share in that front line, and to an extent, Leandro Trossard, their work rate. Folarin Balogun does not match up.
So sell him. We are not saying don't sell him.
That's why I say maybe he doesn't fit into.
If it doesn't fit into your system, that is another reason why you should not overprice him.
Exactly.
Because he's surplus to requirement.
Yeah. So just a few updates before we go on. Yunus Musa has joined AC Milan. Yunus Musa has
Valencia.
Does he have some Ghanaian?
Oh yeah, he's Ghanaian. He's eligible to play for before committing to the United States. He was eligible to play for as many as 4 countries. Yeah, he was eligible to play for Ghana, US, England, and Italy.
Wow, interesting.
Yes,
and he chose US.
Very interesting.
Over Ghana.
let's not go there. Anyway, so that's Yunus Musa moving, and like I said, Josko Vadio is close. Let me see if I can just touch up a few of the other moves. Bayern, yes, Lukaku is close to joining Juventus. Apparently, they are thrashing out the final figures in that deal. Bayern are making a final offer for Harry Kane. That's in the mix as well. Like, if you don't know, Aubameyang is at Marseille as things stand now. Let's talk about the Community Shield because football is back. And it's coming off on Sunday. 3 p.m. is kickoff time. Man City won the league, won the FA Cup as well. United won the Carling Cup, and that's why they are playing Arsenal. So what happens is that you either play, it's typically the winner of the FA Cup and the league, or whoever came second in the league. So
that is one thing I completely disagree.
I actually agree.
I completely disagree.
I agree.
I completely disagree.
Think
If you are saying that the winner of the FA Cup should play whoever wins the league.
Yeah.
If you have one person winning the double, who should the person win?
I think you know.
If you play against the one the person defeated in the FA Cup final.
I think
what's now?
or even the Carling
FA
Cup.
Cup.
It just tells you how the Premier League rates the Carling Cup or the League Cup. They don't rate the Carling Cup.
No. We are talking about. I'm not even talking about Carling Cup. I'm talking about the fact that
United were in the
final of the FA Cup.
So more like
if anything, final. If anything,
I agree with you.
It is two different competition winners coming together to play in the, let's say, Champions of Champions. Yeah. So if you've won your competition and you played me in another, where did Arsenal get in the FA Cup? What was their position? Adjei-Mintah, Joe, second round, Joe, no go Adjei-Mintah. So why are they being given? Okay, but I hear it is in the rules.
It has always been like that.
But I completely understand.
It is something I completely disagree
I
with.
think you need to change the format, honestly.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a competition between the Premier League
and the FA Cup.
And the FA.
Yes.
So you have the Premier League winners facing the FA Cup winners. If the FA Cup winners are the same as the Premier League, then it should be the runners-up of the
FA Cup. They have to play this game.
Let's put the conversation in context, guys. Let's start off with Arsenal. So they are obviously trying to plug their holes from last season.
Yeah.
Declan Rice marquee signing. I've seen Kai Havertz in pre-season. I've seen him as part of a midfield three. It was a disaster. I've seen him as sort of a false nine. It looked pretty decent. Not all the way there. They've lost Gabriel Jesus already. Arteta says he'll be out for a couple of weeks.
I think it will go to 2 months.
At least 1 month.
No, I think after 1 month he'll go for rehab.
Yeah.
I think we are looking at 2 months.
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks because it's an operation that has been done on the knee.
Yeah.
Same knee. I think
the same knee.
So
Last season.
Yeah.
Good. So Arsenal's David Raya in the pipeline. So that's Arsenal's off-season in a nutshell. Manchester City have had a very interesting off-season. A lot of players have departed. Not a lot of players have arrived.
Kovacic
has arrived, and then Vardy soon to arrive, but he hasn't even arrived yet, so we can't even count him. Guys, who wins this game? Let me start off with you, coach.
Yeah.
I mean, balance of how the last games between the two teams ended. Departures, arrivals, new players, new atmosphere.
I think the departure of Gundogan, Mahrez, has weakened Manchester City as a force. You may accept it or you may disagree with it. If you look at Gundogan alone, he did not only bring leadership, he did not only bring proper footballing brains, he contributed his fair share of goals from midfield.
Especially crunch times.
Last
very, 2 seasons
important
against
game.
Aston Villa.
Yes.
Came through.
Even
last season.
Season, it got to the time that
Premier League.
Haaland wasn't scoring, De Bruyne wasn't. He veteran. I think the last 10 games, he
literally carried the team. Yeah.
You understand? I think he's left and he's gone out, or he's gone away with the goals in particular. Kovacic, very good player. He will not score even 5 goals for you all season. Even if you give him the empty net, it's all over. Yes, we know that is.
He'll score the occasional screamer.
Now, if you look at Arsenal, Arteta has a decision to make. That decision is about who he plays in midfield. Is he going to go Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard, or he's going to trust Declan Rice so much that he will say Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Odegaard.
If he does that, he'll drink a lot of gold.
If he does that, then we will not be able to recognize them after 30 minutes.
Oh, they'll drink a lot of
what? I am. If you look at
what do you mean? What do you mean we'll not be able to recognize them?
Oh, they'll be beating good within 20 minutes. Most likely to end at Adjei-Mintah. And you don't want that. Because psychologically, Man City dealt with Arsenal in all competitions they met them last season. Yeah. So you want to send a message to the people at City that, yes, it is the Community Shield, but you want to send a message, look, this time round, it's going to be very, very different. But if you allow them to come out on Sunday, suppress you, pass you into submission, beat you and beat you good, like they did, then there is that psychological damage that these guys, anytime we meet them, they will account for us. You don't want that to happen. So Mikel Arteta, they also said that they believe that the absence of Saliba actually did not help their cause against Man City. And eventually, they're not winning the league. It's the time to put Saliba in there and get him to remind everybody that, yes, indeed, my absence contributed to what happened. It's the time to put Partey alongside Declan Rice. Now, this is the combo that we are going to use to undo these guys. No more, it is Rodri, John Stones. I still do believe that, despite the fact that John Stones has performed very creditably as a midfielder,
he can be exposed.
I don't think he's better than Thomas Partey or Declan Rice in midfield because he's learned the trade in that department. We all know where he belongs, but of course, a good coach multifunctionally has pushed him into midfield and he's doing extremely very, very well. So let Man City present what they have. Present something very different to them and see how best you can come back there. Again, for Man City, Bernardo Silva is not in the right frame of mind. He wants to leave. He wants to go to
Silva's wanted to leave for like a minute.
Right now, the news coming that if Barcelona were to put in a bid, he will force the move.
Calculations FC, do something.
They are struggling to even pay for their signings. And then their signings signed.
And then
Calculations FC, do something.
The players
Walker too is like Pep Guardiola.
One leg out, one leg in.
Is it me? I don't pity Pep when these things are happening to him.
Right.
Because he's that type of manager. Yeah. When he's done with you,
he'll discard you.
So when you think it's time for you to leave, let him know that you're also going. Then you leave.
That's why Mahrez left.
That's right. So again, back to that game. Arsenal will have to make sure that it is a competitive game. Competitive in the sense that you don't go and concede 3, 4, 5. No. Even if you are going to lose, it should be very, very tight. Because everybody's thinking that it is a community shield, but it's going to be keenly contested.
Oh, always.
Because
always
of the fact that Arsenal felt that over the season,
they were the better team.
They should have won the league. This guy snatched it from them when they had some few injuries. Now that everybody's back, send a decent message across to them. Do I want them to do that? Yes, because I believe that this season, Man City is not going to get it easy. In fact, I'm not going to tip them to win the league.
You're looking at your own records.
No. You see, I'm not going to tip them to win the league because of Gundogan's absence. I don't think they've replaced him. Yeah. And what he has done for them over the past 4 seasons, whenever they had to win the league, in that last 15 games,
every time
he virtually carried them along. So I don't think they will win the league this season. But for me to be very much convinced that they will not win the league, I need all the big teams to beat them when they come home. Last season, take it or leave it, it was only United who defeated City when City came to Old Trafford. City dealt with Arsenal home and away. They took 4 points off Liverpool. They took 6 off Chelsea. They took 6 off Tottenham. Eventually, those were the games that won them the league. So if the big teams can begin to stand up to them and say, look, enough is enough. enough is enough. Yes, you've dominated, but this time round, never again. I mean, let's find a way of relegating Pep Guardiola a bit and make this team competitive, because it's been put out there like a farmers league.
United want the support of that team, so.
No. As for we look, no one quite a bit. Man City, they can go and get Messi when they come to Old Trafford. They buy
like that.
After we said it here, when it's Egbu, I'm when we come to Liverpool, it should happen. When Liverpool had Sadio Mane and Salah and Fabinho,
did Liverpool beat Man City last season?
No.
Wasn't it 1-0 Salah? They beat Liverpool last. They won the first leg 1-0. I think the second leg, I don't remember the second leg, but Salah
scored.
Yeah, a lone goal victory, I remember.
And we need the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea and Co to do the same, so that the league will be competitive. But look, on Sunday, the Community Shield, I'll have to wait to see what Arteta will do. I still think he's not sure about whether his party Declan Rice or Odegaard, or because he spent 65 million on what will he buy? Kai Havertz.
Coach, I said I've stopped talking about Kai Havertz. I remember, right? My tweet aged so well. I remember when they signed Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. I said, look,
we said it. You and I.
Calm down. These are Bundesliga players. Yes, they were elite in the Bundesliga, but can you replicate your form in the Premier League? Chelsea fans said I was a hater. Apuzo's voice, Apuzo Chelsea, Kabla Kalaza and Timo Werner, Sakim Ziyech. Apuzo's voice has outlived both Havertz and Werner at Chelsea. Can you imagine? That voice is there, and both players have found new teams to go and play for. Pichichi, talk to me quickly. Man City, you've seen what's going on at Man City. Coach does not trust that they can be the same force. I hold the same opinion. I think that replacing a player like Gundogan is literally
I always say this, that if you ever doubt Pep Guardiola, that's when he shows you what he's made of.
The goat
he's shown over and over that he overthinks.
We are back here
and
again.
Gets things done. So for me, I've stopped doubting him because I know what he's made of.
Now I look on record just before you continue. He didn't want Gundogan to go.
Yes,
Gundogan told him
he wanted him
was going. He didn't want Mahrez to go. Mahrez told him he was leaving.
Unlike
Unlike the Gabriel Jesus, the Sterling, he
Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling. They need somebody needs to rescue him from football now. He doesn't look like he's interested in playing football again.
Exactly.
Like there's no spirit in Raheem Sterling. Anyway, you continue.
So I don't want to doubt that, but I look at Arteta and I compared their last meeting, that game where we thought this was a title deciding moment for us now to come into the game. Arteta just played the game into Pep's hand.
Folded like a blanket.
Arteta has an idea of what Pep would do. It's always obvious what Pep would do in games. He'll keep the ball. But as to how to stop his team, that's the biggest headache for Arteta now. And I think that
if you want to beat Pep, do something that he least expects
Eric Ten Hag style
to do. That's when you beat
Eric
him.
Ten Hag has a way. The Fred one marking on Kevin De Bruyne. It's a very good strategy. It has worked.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did too. Adam.
Yeah, he also did. Very strange way of doing
Give Ole his flowers.
So for me, I think that it will boil down to what magic Arteta has in store. What sort of new thing he would do. Because for us, we know what Pep will do on Sunday. It's obvious. He'll keep the ball. He will play from the wings. Grealish and stuff will do what they will do. It's now left with how Arsenal will stop what Pep wants to do and then get their game plan right. And for me, it boils down to the starting 11. I think if Arsenal are able to get their starting 11 right, their game plan, which I don't know how they'll face this City team though, but I think that I'm expecting a surprise game plan from Arsenal. It shouldn't be what we saw in the last game where it was so easy. One DM against Pep Guardiola's team doesn't normally work. I think I prefer a double pivot in that game. A double pivot so that at least he takes over that midfield from Pep. For me, I think that also the wingers need to do more in terms of defend and attack.
Arsenal's wingers or
yes, Arsenal's wingers, they need to do more defending because see, Grealish and the player will be on the right hand side will hardly
playing on the right hand side now.
Likely will be folding, left-footed or Bernardo Silva.
They like to hug the line. It's part of the game plan. They will hug the line. They will be on the wing, the fullback almost all game. So you have to have your wing, your left and right wingers also coming back to defend. And this is also key for Arsenal. If they get that right and they cut the sort of supplies to Erling Haaland as well from midfield, it could work for them. But I think they will need a surprise element, something that Pep is not aware of, and that's what could potentially win the game for Arsenal. Something that Pep will not see coming.
If you pair, let's say, Thomas Partey with Declan Rice at the base of the midfield, then it means, and you know that you have to play Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli plus Odegaard, because Odegaard is the captain. You are not dropping him.
4-2-3-1.
Then it means you are going to start Kai Havertz as the false nine. And we saw how
Havertz will play. That's what you need. See,
okay, exactly.
He will play.
If he plays, if he plays, then I'm thinking then he has to play a back three. Then he has to play a back three with a diamond formation in midfield behind a three-man attack.
So 3-4-3.
So 3-4-3. So you play three at the back. Julian Timber, Gabriel Magalhaes, and William Saliba. Then Partey sits in front of them. Then he'll be flanked the diagonal.
TNA or who?
No, that would be Odegaard and Declan Rice. Then at the tip of the diamond, you have Kai Havertz playing behind and Edwin Nketsia, flanked by Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli.
The reason why that would not work.
Who are the fullbacks here?
If he goes, if he goes back three,
Mm-hmm.
then he need natural defenders as wing backs.
That's what I was thinking.
But if you go and if you go and put Odegaard as a wing back,
you're not playing him as a wing back. You're not playing him as a wing back. You're not playing him as a wing back.
I'm coming. When you go diamond, one side of the Arsenal midfield will struggle. If you are looking at
they will struggle because Partey has played as a right full back on several
put
occasions.
him out of position.
No, he will drift towards the right side.
So then who drops in his position there?
Declan Rice.
So who drops into the position that Declan Rice will leave?
Odegaard.
And you also have where the problem is going.
You also have Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz also dropping deep. As
These
he
are not
normally does.
natural ball winners. If you want to beat Man City, you should have natural ball winners in your mix. When Liverpool used to beat them, who were the guys? There was Fabinho, Henderson, and then there was this other guy in midfield. I've forgotten his name. Then they had
the last game they had Elliott.
Yes. Then they had the front three of Salah, Mane, and Fabinho, who would trigger. Fabinho triggers the press. Mane and Salah coordinate, anticipate better, and then the team just. You don't get that from Odegaard and
but you let me get that with Declan Rice and Thomas Partey.
Let me take final thoughts.
You only two of them to do so.
Now 3-4-3 now.
Let me take final thoughts from Edwin. Let's take final thoughts and then we'll
I think we are being a bit unfair to Arsenal here in terms of Arteta. Sorry, in terms of his use of Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. I think when it comes to the regular season, 17 out of the 20 teams, or probably 16 out of the 19 teams that Arsenal will face, they are going to dominate possession of over all of them.
No, we are talking about the game against Man City.
Yes, and so in the games against Man City, in the games against Man City, probably Liverpool or maybe even Brighton, who are probably going to dominate possession, he's most likely going to go for a double pivot of Thomas Partey and Declan Rice, and that's what I expect to see
on
Sunday against Man City, because otherwise that midfield is going to be very weak. And Pep Guardiola and Man City typically do not show their best form in the Community Shield. In recent years, we've seen Leicester beat them. We've seen Liverpool beat them. They don't.
It will be different. Sorry to cut you, but it will be different on Sunday because I honestly believe he wants to go for that 6-2 pill again. He wants to win another. He wants to win 6 trophies again because he did it with Barcelona. He wants to do it this time around with Man City. He's won the treble. If he misses out on the Community Shield, he won't be able to replicate that feat.
I'm not telling you. And these are things that come once every 25 people.
Relax. And people should really take this seriously again and again and again. The Community Shield is the English version of the Spanish Super Cup. The Community Shield is the English version of the Italian Super Copa.
Yeah, don't present it as if he has never taken it serious. He's always taken it serious. He's got beat.
He's got beat.
What do you mean by that?
He's not taking it serious. How?
Which players?
The last time
Aguero playing. Yaya Toure Aguero playing those games. Please. Man City have always fielded a full strength squad. I'm surprised.
Pep does not joke with matches.
This is your argument. This is your argument with us.
Did you see Ellen Haaland's reaction last season in the Community Shield when he missed that sitter?
Do you think he wanted to miss it?
Did you want to miss it?
Do
you think he didn't want to be holding the plate at the end of the match?
Pep Guardiola we know doesn't joke with matches.
I'm surprised he's talking like this.
If it's gota.
I'm surprised he's talking like this. Pep fields full strength squads for Carling Camp.
There was a time that Man City, they were beating a certain team 9. When he was in there, he said because he wanted the game to be more competitive.
Imagine
them to score
he talk like this.
And he changed his stance and he won the treble. Back in the day, he couldn't win the treble.
It's okay.
He couldn't even win the Champions
We'll be
League.
launching at Citi TV's premises on Sunday. Let's talk about coach's friends, the FA, because coach, finally, the date is here.
The date is here.
27th, right?
Yeah,
27th September.
We will need more time to talk about what.
Yes. No, we'll discuss
At
it.
the end of the day, this is what some of us wanted. May have gotten the road.
So are you saying kudos to the FA?
No, kudos to what FA? That is their job. You don't praise somebody.
Don't do this.
What he's expected.
You don't applaud a fish for swimming. You don't.
This is what you expect.
You don't applaud a fish for swimming,
Something
please.
that should have been done, and you just do it.
So they've done it.
Fish swim.
They've done it.
But coach, they put out a very comprehensive roadmap. You have to credit them for
Could
that.
have done otherwise. You see, if already it's been a badly run FA, they run our football abysmally.
Thank
so
you.
if you are doing something and you stay
You're doing something right.
Then what will action get by lose election? What will action by on the 27th?
When you say we
You are
yes, who is your candidate? Do you have a candidate?
Everybody but Ket.
Charlie.
After a game, our football is dead. Our football is finished. We need to change the leadership of Ghana football.
27.
That is the only way we look. On a year ball and not you beat Guinea, you beat Mali, you are bragging. No, not trying. No,
Nigeria has beaten Australia.
No, boy. Look at the level.
Nigeria, Morocco, and South Africa have qualified to the round of 16 in the women's World Cup.
We've beaten Guinea in the Olympic qualifier. We had Kashami, we'll go and meet Alatame. Along the line, we'll meet those people. We should beat them. That is when you begin to applaud. Not beat Mali, Guinea, Botswana,
It's okay.
For me, I think that they've listened. Many called for this. It's in now.
This was what's supposed to be.
Exactly. So now it's in. So for me, they've done. No, they could have even still delayed.
To what's this advantage?
They could have still delayed. So now that they could have still delayed. So now that the FA has brought the modalities out, it's a good move. All worries are now over. The road is clear. What you have to do to win. And for me, as I said weeks ago, looking at the sort of country we are in and how difficult it is to change incumbent presidents, I still think that the GFA president is favorite.
He's absolutely
by this logic, he's favorite because of how difficult.
By this logic, he's favorite.
Yes,
but we'll see. By this logic, because he's the incumbent, he has the process in his hand. Shinmo, the football people, those who spend money on football,
they will make a decision.
They will decide.
Thank you.
You can be the most favorite
from what I saw at Congress. Yes, master. I don't.
Proud sponsors of Sports Panorama. Now, what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, who's got the moolah's got the power. Now, Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily. Ghana's newest lottery game. Live on TV, Adom TV at 9 a.m. a proper
African
retard. A proper African retard. Another quality product from Bell Aqua and Bell Beverages. Follow Bell Beverages on Facebook and more for more information. Recharge the herbal with guys. Quick shouts before we go. Quick shouts.
So let me start with my guys. 3 sports panoramans. One goes to Daniel Abayate, alias Dan Zibit. Dan Zibit. He's the marketing and sales consultant for Rent to Kill Initial Ghana Limited. So Dan Zibit, have a good one this Friday evening. Also to Mr. Jamra, he's at the Ministry of Information. When I went there for some assignment.
Yeah. He's a good man.
He made me feel good.
He's a very good man.
He made me feel good.
He's a very, very good man.
One of life, my brother.
I will pass by. He's a very good man.
Mr. Jamra.
Mr. Jamra.
So,
Mr. Jamra is doing good things.
So anytime I come to the Ministry of Information,
he's welcoming.
Exactly. Keep making me feel good over there. And happy birthday to a police officer. Very, very dear to me. He's a phobia fan, or he's a House of Folk fan. He's a phobian. Officer Randy. Happy birthday to you. And I know it's your birthday with wifey at home. Get your puka. Get your puka.
Thank you.
And you know what to do.
Quick shouts, coach.
Bozo, yesterday was the birthday of my second daughter.
Oh!
Yeah. Yesterday.
One bell ring.
Was the birthday of my second daughter.
Second bell ring?
Yes. She turns 80 yesterday.
Oh, Charlie.
And Denisa Babet Nyolonsebio Nimley.
Oh, sweet.
That is her full name.
Exotic.
And I remember very well when her mom gave birth to her, I told God something. The moment I laid eyes on her, I said, come on, this is a gift from God. And I need to dedicate her back to God. So the full meaning of her name, Denisa, is a gift from God. Babet is something dedicated back to God. So from her mom, Mrs. Nimley, from her lovely siblings, Davida and Aviela, and from Daddy.
And from us here.
And from the sports crew. I want to say happy belated birthday to Denisa. May the good Lord continue to guide and protect her. She's growing up very smart, very intelligent. Beyond the skies is going to be her limit. God in his own way will guide her. Whether I am there or not, she's under the guidance of Jesus. I wish her...
This be some serious words that I speaking to you.
Amen. I wish her the very best as she grows up. And she knows anything goes for as long as the Lord Jesus is in charge.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, dear.
Thank you.
Daddy says happy birthday.
Daddy has spoken.
Mommy says happy birthday.
Strong words.
Davida says happy birthday. And then Aviela. And then from her cousins, Mamiama and Mefia, we all say happy belated birthday. I love you, girl. Grow up to be a wonderful girl.
Charlie,
Amen.
Charlie.
Amen.
Amen. Charlie, when you listen, you say your puppy, they give you, it's okay. Let's close the show. We have closed the show. Thank you very much to Coach Christopher Nimley. Thank you, Edwin Kwakofi, Adjei-Mintah, and Evans Ofotsu, Manso, aka Pechiti. Thank you guys for doing the